What's good, y'all? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to effectively max your soul points, or just get them in general. And this won't be exactly showing you the process. The process is extremely simple. I've explained it in my previous video on this game. So if you want to know how to get to the process of most of these things, check out my last video, and everything will be there for you. Now, what soul points are? Soul points you access by coming over to the meditation here at the start. You meditate, and how I showed in my previous video, that is where you go level up normally. But here's the emo version of him. I don't really know who this is, but you talk to him and this will show up. This is basically your inter-slot power-up section. And every time you upgrade this, every single one of your slots gets more powerful. It transfers through slots, and you don't have to. You don't have to wipe a slot that already existed. Like if you upgrade health 2, and you didn't have health 2 when you made another slot, but you upgraded on a separate slot as well, that health 2 will still apply to the other character. So that is all good. Now how this works is you get soul points for completing certain actions, and these actions can only be completed poor wording. You can only complete these to get soul points on the first 4 slots you have, which I'll be showing you how to effectively get soul points, like the quickest way I know. Because I've maxed this, as you can see, I've maxed everything here, all legitimately, and it took me quite a bit of time, but it was pretty nonchalant. It was mostly just AFK time. With that in mind, the first thing you will need to do, in my very honest opinion, is start out with getting an artifact. Yeah, on this guy right here. By this guy, I mean, if you have more than 1 slot, I will suggest you should get more than 1 slot in this game anyway, but if you have more than 1 slot, you need to make one of those slots rogue. If you have all 4 slots, good for you. But if you only have 1, I would suggest just ignoring this. It will make your life a lot harder because you won't have as much gold. You'll have to farm gold while you're getting the super classes, and that can take extra time. And I personally fucking hate it, and I'm pretty sure you guys will hate it as well. So what you need to do is one of your slots you need to make a rogue. Fully upgrade that rogue's luck. Get Beastmaster on it if you're wondering how to do that. My previous video has all the information you need. And once this rogue is completed and has like more than 100 luck-ish, just go out here, or any specific area. I go here because it's easier to sell. You stand there, get encounters, kill them with dagger spread, and then come back, sell, repeat, or just stay there for a while, come back and sell. And you will save up money that way, which you won't have to farm on the other characters, which is extremely nice. Plus, this can also let you get your first boss kill, which is going to be one of the ways to get soul points as well. You need to kill bosses. Each boss applies separately, and as I've shown it already, but I'll show it again. Here is the list of all the points you can get from doing certain actions. Bosses are not as in kill a boss, it's kill bosses. So, example, if you kill the fire dragon Yar'Thul, that will give you 3 points. But on top of that, if you also kill Thorian, the rotten one, or whatever the hell his name is, you will also get 3. And if you do a raid, that's completely different for a boss. But there's 2 bosses at the moment. Mini bosses do not count, such as King Slime or Impaler Vampire. No, they will not count, as they are not bosses, they are mini bosses. But what you need to do is just come over here, and for your first few levels actually, what I recommend is either starting with hard mode or legendary mode. Now the reason for this is, obviously you can see it, but why you need to do each separately is kind of a nitpick for me in this game. I don't know, because if you do legendary mode first, right, the normal assumption would be that you would also complete hard mode super, but that is not the case. You need to do them separately. Get the hard mode super, then legendary super, and they will give you 2 points separately. Well, 3 points in total, because you should not get the same super class for these. You need to always, every time you get super class in white, which I'll be explaining later, because it is repeatable, you need to get 15 super classes on each slot. Go a different one. Now, what you want to start out with is neutrals. Once you have the money and everything set up on it, and put on an ult, just go over here on the slot you would like to begin with on legendary mode. I suggest either hard mode or legendary. As I said, you get that by killing yourself in the fire at level 1, going talking to the Dullahan at the end, and then he will change your difficulty to whatever you want. So you either start off with hard mode or legendary mode, and then once you complete that, switch to the other one. I recommend going hard mode first, because it'll pretty much remove any need to ever go hard mode during this, and hard mode is a pain in the ass because it is slower than legendary mode, and the speed is the only thing that matters here. If you can't do legendary at first, you're free to do hard mode because it's a lot easier to heal and everything. So if you want to start out, if you're starting out, I would recommend going hard mode and then into legendary, so you don't have to worry about everything else. So you do the hard mode, you kill mobs here, yada yada, but what you need to know, it's pretty simple. There's not much of a guide in terms of killing things and getting essence. That is just a matter of time. You stand here. And why here? I'll tell you now. These things are called Everthristle. And for anything but a neutral class, you require these. And I'll be showing you what you should be doing, or how you should be grinding these Everthristle while you're also grinding essence. Dual efficiency. The best route for it. You start here. These spawn right here, and I'll be speeding it up and stopping at the points that these spawn at, so just keep attention. Repeat this route while you're farming and you'll be golden. Second spot is just over here. There's like 5 that spawn here. And there's 4 more that spawn here. Some may not be spawned for me since this is a new server, but yeah, 4 spawn here. Another 6 spawn here in total, and next one is over here. The last one is just right here, and then you just repeat this in a circle, going around once they respawn, getting you some Everthristle and put it on your bank. Save it while you're doing the neutral classes, because neutrals do not require Everthristle or quests at all. They're pretty easy to get, which is why they're good to do at the start. You don't gotta do anything extra when you're weak. You can give you easy soul points just like that. And the next thing I want to talk about, once you exhaust your super classes, and this is not really I can't really show you step by step because it's literally just getting super classes, repeating, which I've shown in my previous video. So if you want to know how to get every super class in the game, or where they are, because the acquisition is pretty similar, I've shown that in my previous video, so you can just hop over there and check it out. But once you're done with the super classes on everything single one, what you need to do next is, in my opinion, covenants. Now, there's only really one choice in covenants. There's 2 in game, and the only one that you could feasibly max out within while grinding is the Way of Blades, because the Way of Life is extremely painful. It's not even pasting, it's just extremely annoying, because you can't really get it quickly. It's just a matter of time. Now, Way of Blades just requires around 60,000 money. Here's the total requirement for it. Once you get the 60,000 money, though, you can just talk to the Covenant dude, and he'll sign you up. And it's at level 10 that you need to do that. Once that is done, you just grind money over here, get you 25,000, give it to your ult, make that ult give it to your main. And I've shown how to get the Way of Blades Covenant in my previous video. So all you need to do is just go to the desert and then go past the Elementalist Trainer. Once again, if you're curious, you can check out my previous video on that. But once you've also done that on all 4 characters, what you should then do is just play the game normally. Progress your whatever hard mode, legendary mode, whatever one you want to, and just kill Yar'Thul on all 4, or on all 4 slots. Then try to kill Thorian on all 4 slots, and by then this will already be completed. But you should also get an enchant on it. Also, I should mention, enchants are not just an enchant. I'm pretty sure I've told you this, but the acquisitions of enchants and superclasses are not just get a superclass and that's it. No, every enchant is different. For example, I have Midas here, but if I were to now go get Infernal, because I've never gotten Infernal on here, that Infernal will also give me a soul point, which you can farm enchants. I've explained that, how to get that as well, in my previous video. And that is pretty much, it's pretty much all you need to know about covenants, or soul points, I mean, not covenants. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the video, but there will be a list of some things you can just copy down into a notepad, and then just keep track of your soul point gain from there. So just look in the description, copy it down to a notepad, and you'll be golden. Now let's continue with the video. Now I'll be showing you what to actually upgrade in what order, because this matters a lot. It will change how you grind, how quickly you grind. So it might, if you are like me and you plan to max out anyway and don't really care for short-term gain, here's what you need to do. If you're not looking to empower your character straight up and you know you're gonna get to the max anyway because you're persistent like my dumbass, what you need to do is go to Path of Empowerment here and just max this out. Never in your fucking life touch anything but this unless it's essence gain over here, which I'll be showing you. This needs to be maxed out. Once this is maxed out, your fucking worries are gone, because this health tree here on the left will give you 30 health. The regen here will give you 2 HP per turn regen, which is incredible. Encounter regen will heal like half of your health after encounter. Defense gives you like, I think 25% reduction in damage or something like that. 20% I think. At the starter area, at least. Status effect, obvious. Now, after this is maxed, or you can also like max it while also upgrading this one right here. And I don't think sell prices matters a lot for this, since you'll be making a rogue for money. Just max out essence gain. Essence gain will help you out immensely. You won't have to sit there for like half an hour getting to level 15. It's like a matter of 10, maybe 10 minutes for each one. You just max this out and go with it. Other than that, just max this part of it and just leave it after. Once you max like this the thing that I'm circling, just leave it. This will be unnecessary for you, because Soul Vault, Cursed Hunter, Harvester, and these are just combat based. Now, what I recommend to get after you've done these is, well, obviously the attack tree. Because after you've done whatever I've said there, you should get your damage up. And after damage, you should get crit. You should get crit, and then crit chance. Because this crit chance can get you up to, I think, 16% crit base, which is wild. This crit damage ups it as well by this much per. I'll show you both. Then do not. I'll say get DOT last. Then you obviously need to max Arcane and Strength, because these are both required to get into the increased overall damage too. And these are just specific ones you get. Obviously, you can max that out later. But once you get the one you're actually using on your slots here, what you should do is get, first, you should always get Piercing. Piercing is always good. Rebound is also good, because enemies tend to dodge a lot of attacks, and if you use a good attack, chances are that attack is going to be useless for the entirety of the fight, which this will solve. And Recovering Blows is good for rogue farming. As I said before, you don't start with 2 energy, so if you kill an enemy, instead of meditating, you can just kill an enemy in one hit. If you can't, just meditate and dagger spread them. But that is pretty much all you need to know about soul points. It's pretty simple. If you're wondering how to get orderly and chaotic superclasses and are confused why you were gathering Everthristle, you can go watch my previous video. Everything is explained there. Explaining it here will be just annoying for me and kind of pointless, since this is just a soul points guide. And thank you for watching. And y'all better subscribe before I fucking kill somebody.